All right, listen up, y'all.
Greetings, everybody. This is another episode of All Things Education Official. I am your host and educator, Dr. Abdullah, giving you education from a foundational Black American male's perspective. Today, we're going to talk about how Black students need more than white teachers who love all students.
Hall believes teachers need to create a culture where the students and the teachers both feel safe and respected.
We have kids that are dealing with so many things that I never dealt with.
Rebecca Noble has been a teacher for 23 years. After taking Wes Hall's training and changing the way she talks to her students, she's seen a difference in their behavior and attendance.
I find that the more I know about what's going on with that student, the easier it is for me to understand how to respond to it.
All right. From our first article, we're going to go to Dr. Bettina L. Love. She wrote an article back in 2019 called Dear White Teachers, You Can't Love Your Black Students If You Don't Know Them. Dr. Bettina Love is making a lot of waves. You got to follow her. Follow her on Facebook. Follow her on Instagram. She's making a lot of waves in the educational sphere, particularly in Georgia. Now, when I ask future teachers why they want to teach, especially white women who make up the vast majority of all teachers, their first or second answer is always, I love children, followed by without taking a breath, I love all children. The word all is meant to signal I am not racist. I am fit to be in the classroom with children of color. The statement is used to show that white teachers can be kind to every Black and brown child that walks through their classroom doors, but how can you ever love or care for someone you know so little about? I think that this goes to show that we are still in 2024 begging for proper education from people who are put in front of us. It seems to me, as an educator of 20 plus years, that this is not going to change. I push highly for us to maintain our own institutions of learning. As Malcolm X said, only a fool would allow his enemy to teach his children. I strongly encourage us to do homeschooling. You can follow people like the Treehouse University on Instagram or Woke Homeschooling. These schools tend to teach history from a true perspective, and we do not do our children the way we know that many of the dominant society in education do. It has been proven through studies, I've studied this myself, that children that have white teachers, 30% of them believe that they perform less than their white counterparts. With this being said, it goes to show that we don't need teachers anymore who just feel that we love all children. Our children and children in the Black community they have specific needs, they have specific desires, and there's a specific way to deal with our children so that they can maximize their educational growth. She goes on to say, I do not think white teachers enter the profession with wanting to harm children of color, but they will hurt a child whose culture is viewed as an afterthought. This is by Dr. Bettina Love. On this one, I agree 100%, but I would like to extract that term of color because Asian children, Arab children, they are all considered children of color, but they do not have the specific needs of foundational Black American children, in particular, Black children in general. We have specific needs, and we need to delineate from this ideology of color because we are not of color. We are Black people. Our Black children need things specifically, and the number one thing that we need in order for our children to learn in the classroom is positive relationships, encouragement, and mentorship. Finally, she states that Black folks are highly visible and invisible at the same time in America. And she follows it by saying the sad truth is that white people can spend their entire lives dismissing dark people's existence and still be successful in life. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for us. Well, listen. If you are in the classroom, if you're not in the classroom, if you have a child that's in school, you will know a stark difference between when your child, if they are fortunate enough to have a black educator, and their interactions with that educator and their interactions with the white educator, particularly in the primary grades, definitely in secondary. Post-secondary, we begin to start to recognize that there are significant differences in the teaching styles. So you will find, even on college campuses, that Black students gravitate towards the Black professors. You have had people who have taken majors in the areas that the Black professors taught just because they wanted that interaction with those professors. It is time that we step up, create these institutions. I give props to Randall King from the X School for Boys. I would love for Dr. Umar Infatunde to create his school and get that off the ground. But in the meantime, in the interim, we need to be looking into what we can do as educators, as parents, as community members to strengthen the resolve that teachers have in our schools. We need to be talking to our administrators, talking to the principals, talking to the superintendents, assistant superintendents, and talking to our legislators. Our education is specific and it needs to be done at the best way possible. I'd like to say thank you for attending to another episode of All Things Education Official. I am your host, Dr. Abdullah. Please follow me on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Let us know what you think. Put in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are your thoughts? Once again, you are dismissed.
Yeah! You are all expurgated.